you are listening to this video today, it's become at some level, you're probably either a fan or a follower of Elon Musk's big adventure. And you would certainly understand then that he and Tony Seba, Cathie Wood, and I believe that there is a future coming where energy will be essentially free, like information and phone calls are now, but didn't used to be. So the cost of essentials, in addition to those two, multiple other essentials, will also not be a major issue in terms of people coming by those things that they need in order to survive. In that age of abundance, there's going to be a lot of changes. We're going to be talking about those changes. This is Randy Kirk. Please hit like and subscribe and notify so that you can be reminded about tonight's show, which is usually the most popular show of the week, or certainly in the top 2 or 3, because we talk about what's going to be popping next week in terms of the financial news as well as the Tesla news, and what my expectations are, my thoughts are with regard to markets and all that kind of stuff. And people seem to like that show. And then on Monday morning, of course, that show, by the way, is called Monday Morning. Then Monday morning, we have After the Bell, where we look at the first 10 minutes of the trades, and we make some conclusions about those, as well as report the news that happened overnight. And then later that day, you get a taste of Brian White at around the noon hour, and then Larry Goldberg at the evening hour. So anyway, you want to see all those things. So please hit like and subscribe. Anyway, all those things. Notify, that was the one. And then buy your Cybertruck, and join Patreon, and or do both. Join Patreon and get a free Cybertruck. All those things are possible. You can help support the channel in so many different ways. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all of you for your support of this channel. You'll see why in a minute, because, yeah, I'll just tease that for now. All right. We now have Grok, ChatGPT, and Dolly. And these 3 programs can write great stuff. I mean, they can, just write in the style of they can write poetry, they can write fiction, they can do all this kind of stuff. If you watched the show earlier today, I gave you a script for a potential Tesla Cybertruck commercial that was hilarious and well written and amazing. That was written by Grok. Okay, they can draw. I can't draw at all, and these things can draw. They can draw something completely, it seems like it's coming out of their own brain. That looks like something, that really works. And, all the graphic artists are afraid of losing their work. It can diagnose. It does a better job of diagnosing for both medicine and for psychiatry than doctors and therapists. And they say it also has a better bedside manner. And then it can analyze. It can do hundreds of activities cheaper and faster than humans. Just those 3. Elon plans to add robots one kind that will drive you around. And then another kind of robot that will do the nasty, dangerous, menial, boring, and repetitive tasks that are currently in the labor pool. And then there's other folks that are working on making food, medical care, and education free, or nearly so. We've already reduced the cost of entertainment, phone calls, information, and communication to near zero. Well, what will be left for people to do? Well, some look at this future world and they immediately want government to write folks a check each month, or give everyone a ticky-tacky house for free, or some think we have a utopian situation where everyone will just pretty much have everything that they want. And then the question becomes, what is the meaning of such an existence? Well, we've all seen the movie WALL-E, and many of you in this audience are retired and not really that thrilled that you don't still go to work and do what you used to do so well and get such applause for having done, and such a feeling of satisfaction sometimes at the end of the day. Well, I'm 75. I still work 65 hours a week because it's way more fun than hitting a little white ball around the golf course that I actually live on. So what then? What is it going to be? Well, here's my thoughts. Number 1, people will still own businesses. That'll be a huge percentage of the population. They'll own stuff like restaurants. Those will still be there. Manufacturing businesses, that'll still be. Retail, all that kind of stuff's not going away, and people will own those businesses. And in some cases, we already see the future, okay, where some of these businesses will be things like renting out your car. it'll be renting out your robo-taxi. We already got that. I've rented out my car on Uber. I'm not on Uber, on Turo. Some people just, use their car for Uber and things like that. So we've already got that, we're seeing a piece of that. We also have Airbnb, where you rent out part or all of your home or your second home. I used to rent out rooms in my house years ago on Airbnb, and I currently rent out 2 houses that we own that we don't live in. So that'll be a part of that future. We also have, in the future, you'll probably be renting out your Optimus bot. You'll buy that's, people that I've talked to say, I want to buy 10 and I'll rent them out to small businesses that don't need them full time. Additionally, in the world of distributed manufacturing, distributed food production, and distributed energy, there will be businesses in owning the land and the equipment necessary to do those things. So you might even own one piece of land where it's got like little farm plots where people from the neighborhood can come and they can come in and do you've got that in some cities now where it's a cooperatively owned piece of land. Well, this will be somebody that will own that land instead, or they will manage that particular plot. And when you come there, everything will be set up. You won't have to, your failure rate will be much lower because they will provide the seeds. They'll tell you how deep to plant this, all the kind of stuff where I kill plants. I have a black thumb. I can't keep plants alive. Maybe in the future, I will be able to do so. And then, you might even have in that same plot of land, you might have some solar panels that you are now selling the solar generation back to the city, and et cetera, et cetera. You get the point. You might have a 3D printer, okay? Whether it's there or somewhere else, you got a 3D printer and you print out this particular kind of product for, the 500 people that live nearest to you. Well, some of this might kind of start to look like it was when you were growing up. I know all of you are over 55. So like me, you probably, we had an apple tree and I think a pear tree in our backyard. We had grapes and I think we grew tomatoes in our first, one of our homes. And so the apple tree would get laden down. Now you could can some or whatever, but we usually put them in a bushel basket. We walked around and gave them away. And then the people next door, they grew corn. And when their corn came in, they couldn't eat it all fast enough. So they'd come around. And so it could be sold that way, or it could be traded that way, or everybody could just agree on each person's responsibility in the neighborhood. So there might be a lot of that going on with regard to these food plots or with regard to some of these other things. So now all of a sudden you are a small manufacturer, you might be a small food producer, and these things would all give you a lot of satisfaction, I think, in terms of being able to grow your own food. I think that's always been true. All right, so then number 2, when was the last time you went to a Major League Baseball, football, whatever kind of game? Not often, right? Unless you have season tickets, which cost about the same as your amount as your car. Well, then you're stuck in the nosebleed seats, and the day is going to cost you $100 or $200 a person to go to the game, even for the nosebleed seats. And it's not all that great because the stadium's so huge. Hey, it's a really interesting place, and you're enjoying it and everything, but it's not that. Anyway, so in the future, I see a situation where actually we're already seeing this future a little bit. Minor league teams are getting into nicer and nicer stadiums, and people are going to those minor league games because they can sit up close. These guys are pretty dang good, or gals are pretty dang good at what they do, and people are willing to pay to go and see that. So I see in our area out here, at least, lots and lots of minor league teams that are doing well. But it's going to go way beyond that, because I think it'll get even the minor leagues, maybe even starting at age 16, because you're not going to go to college. You're going to do college online or whatever. Anyway, it might start younger and younger, where you have professionals, people that are making their living at sports, at games, at dance, at music, at baking, just keep on going down the line. Okay, and people will be doing that, and they'll be doing that in stadiums or in arenas or in buildings or at restaurants as part of the part of you eat and watch people do a bake-off or whatever. All that kind of stuff is going to be going on, and then it will be televised. Well, televised is not the right word for it. It will be professionally produced for YouTube, kind of like this kind of deal. And, people will watch it, and that will be part of the income will be from putting it up on in that way. So I think this will be a huge, huge part of the future. I know right now you're aware of what's happening with gaming. You know how many people last week or 2 weeks ago watched Elon play a video game on X. And now that I've seen a couple of other video games that have been done by people, I don't know who they are, and I don't know, 5 million people are watching it or something. So, and then new sports and new games will be invented as the technology creates completely new opportunities. You can imagine, there's, possibly we might be doing some of them in the air where we're shooting a ball from person to person. Where did I get that idea? Anyway, okay. 3, experience will be a huge, maybe one of the biggest businesses. So like the competitions above, there will be more extreme sports, not even extreme, but expeditions, individual sports, tours, and more. I mean, we have some of that now, lots of it now, actually, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The vacation business is exploding as people and more people around the world have money to travel. It used to be, I would go on a cruise. I've been traveling my whole life like crazy. And I can remember when we were first going on cruises, it was going to be only really well-to-do people. They were mostly from California and from Canada and Germany. Those were the big travelers, some English. Those were the big travelers. In fact, it was only Western Canada, not really all of Canada. And now you get on there and it's from people all over the world of every social milieu. And that good for good or bad, that's the way it is today. So the vacation business is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, more and more cruise liners, more and more riverboats, but also people developing new Disneylands, new Las Vegases, not to mention hotels or cabins in exotic locations that are yet to be discovered. So it's going to be a huge part of the future businesses. All right, now number 4, well, it's possible to create realistic people like me. Okay, they could make a what do you call it? A fake Randy. They could do this show, and other kind of commentators. So you got all those sports shows. You got people to comment on them. You got bake-offs. You need somebody to comment on them. You got people that are doing influencing. You're doing people that are doing analysis of the news and sports, and got all these kind of. Well, there's just going to be an explosion of that kind of thing. I'm predicting that this will be the number 1 job in the world. And there are plenty of people that have the skill set. So, if I can do it, man, there's a lot of people out there that could do it. So, but the risks seem so high. And so, but in the future, in fact, I think not the too distant future, there's a few people that do this now, but I think it's going to become an entire industry. There'll be companies that train you to do this kind of stuff, and then they help you start up your YouTube channel or whatever it happens to be. It'll be just like we do today with athletes and actors, etc. It'll start in high school, and you will be on the path to becoming a commentator or an influencer. Number 5, I'm a little less certain about this one. I'm pretty sure that the business of inventing, doing pure science, the basic work of engineers, all enhanced by AI, but I think that will still be a major source of work for people, will be the pure part of invention and science, because I don't think these computers will ever have original thoughts. They'll be able to combine ideas and whatnot and come up, but the original thoughts, the truly original, I don't think that the computers will be able to do that. And besides that, even if they could, even if all the computers in the world could really come up with a lot of great ideas, there would still be more ideas available. And so there's still going to be folks doing that. Number 6, home personal services, which will be enhanced by robots, but the plumber, the electrician, the hairstylist, the nail folks, those are still going to be businesses. Those businesses are not going away. Number 7, professional sellers and buyers. I'm a professional seller all my life, and that job ain't going away. Yes, of course, computers could say, okay, I need this, and just go out and get it. But no, there's a selling and a buying, and there's a negotiation. And I think I know Elon is showing that you don't need car salesmen anymore, and that particular group might go away. I'm talking about the professional level, business to business, somebody that's trying to sell something that takes a continuing relationship, et cetera. I think that still goes on, and I think that you need the buyers to offset the sellers. So I think that continues to be a business. Maybe not. I don't know for sure. Number 7, I did that one right. 7, I did. 8, I suspect that we will still need politicians, tax collectors, and prostitutes. And I'm not sure why I lumped all those together. Okay, it's your turn. Tell me in the comments below which of these new jobs are coming in the abundant future. Tell me which ones you think are coming that I didn't list. Which ones of these I didn't get correct. I'd love to hear your comments on all of this. I'm sure there'll be great ones, and maybe there's a show in the future where we'll talk about your ideas about what the abundant future is going to look like in terms of the jobs of that future. So hit the like if you thought this was fun and you'd like to see more like this. Hit subscribe, hit notify. I've just told you about all the stuff that's coming up. I'm not going to go through all that again. I will tell you that I do want you to buy. Got to go over here and reach it. I do want you to get one of those. You can get it in camo too. I think the camo, we sell about, somebody asked the other day, it's about 1/3 camo and about 2/3 not. So if you're trying to buy 10 and you're trying to figure out how to balance it, you might go 6 and 4 or 7 and 3, unless you're pretty sure that your friends and family would, really like the camos. And so maybe you go half and half. Anyway, I've got some people that have bought 10 or 15 and they go 100% sterling. Sterling. I keep doing that. Stainless. This is not sterling. Please understand. Remember, it has a beautiful magnet on the back. Really holds stuff good up on your refrigerator. And you personally need 3 or 4 of these, because you do want to take one to your cabin and you do want to have one for your airplane. And I know I've used that multiple times before, but maybe you're new to the channel. Anyway, I think that's all I got for you. So it's been great talking to you. Is somebody going to join Patreon? All right, I'm going to make a deal. This is going to be, I've done this once before. It worked a little bit. Actually got a lot of people joining Patreon the last 2 weeks, but the last 2 days, not a single soul. So let's get you up on Patreon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 1 free audiobook. You can have 2 free if you want, or you can have 1 free audiobook and the Cybertruck bottle opener. How's that? 1 and 1. Okay. If you join at the $10 level, not at the $5 level. If you join at the $5 level, you just get the 1 book. Now, if you're completely new to the channel, this is a bottle opener. It is a refrigerator magnet. It is 3mm thick, stainless steel, really, really tough. Comes in a very cool magnetic box that makes it a great gift item. It's got all kinds of people now buying them as gifts as a result of the fact that I have so many people that want to buy them as gifts, and they're putting in these larger orders. I do have it all down. I think I put it all down below. I'll have to double check and make sure that it's up to date. They're normally $25 a piece. You get 2 for $45. You get 3 for $60. Okay. You get 100 for $210, and you get 200 for $400. Gets you all the way down to $20 a piece. If you are out of the country, I need you to add another $20 to that for freight, whichever one of those ones you pick. And then if you are, and then please let me know camo or regular. And of course you can mix and match if you buy quantities, however you want to set that up. So is there anything else I have left for you tonight? I think I've said it all. I have enjoyed speaking with you yet again.
Click the link below to get your paperback, Kindle, or audiobook now.